Now let's talk about incident management. When something happens, how do we deal with incidents? And we can see here that an incident is an unplanned interruption to our process or our service, or it's a reduction in quality. And incidents are caused by problems. And you can have multiple incidents from the single root cause. If you have more than a one-off, or even with a one-off, you're going to have people looking for the root cause. They're going to be doing something called root cause analysis. And the more data you can give them, and maybe you're the one doing the root cause analysis, the more data we can get that is relevant and fresh and verifiable, and the more we can dig farther in and figure out then what is the root cause of a problem. So for problem and incident management, we're going to want to look at these things. We want to make sure that the processes use these practices. We want to make sure that there is thorough logging of incidents and problems. I can't stress that enough. I was at this one project, and help desk actually had no way of tracking incidents that were being called in, believe it or not. It was a small help desk and a small group, but they had a very far-flung customer base. And so one of the first things was to make sure that there was a tracking process in place, because the director wanted to know, why are we spending so much money on telecom? Because people could call in, and there was basically no landlines, so people were calling on cell phones, and we were calling them back. We wanted to know, why are we spending this much money on the phone bill every month? So one of the first things we did was to create an incident tracking system that could actually log how much time is spent on the phone, who took the call, who made the call, what was the problem, and we had all these fields, and we made sure that the fields were required, that you couldn't close out until you filled in things like contact information. What's the name of the person who called? What's their number? The nature of the problem. Information about the operating system and the version and the time of day and where are they located. And because some of it we needed to know things like where are they located, because we needed to know about environmental conditions in that area. Were they having power problems in that area? What was the weather like in that area? Because of the nature of where we were working, the weather had a lot to do with whether or not systems were working well. And so you want to gather as much information as possible so that when we have to figure out root cause analysis, or just figure out why did this thing happen, that we've got the data we need to figure it out. So we want to make sure there's thorough logging of incidents and the problems, which means, of course, then you need to have a help desk and staff that knows how to ask those questions and knows how to get the right answers out of people, because people are afraid to tell you stuff. They think you're going to accuse them of something. And instead, I would tell the help desk, say to these folks who are terrified of calling you, say, you know, we're doing a little detective work. Everything you can do to help us, we can figure out what's going on. And just talk to them in a way that would get them to help and give you information, rather than try to hide information, thinking they were going to get in trouble for something that really wasn't their fault at all. And then make sure that there is a method of escalation that you've actually tested. And so whenever you can build in controls to automatically escalate, like maybe this thing hasn't been resolved in 3 days, there's automatically an alert or a note sent to somebody. Or there's some kind of report where we can see open tickets that have not been dealt with but weren't escalated either. So you want to make sure all of these things are in place, and the IS auditor is going to want to make sure all of these things are in place. So now, of course, talking about your help desk, and you may or may not outsource your help desk. You may have a very small help desk. You may have like 20 or 30 or 50 people on your help desk, or hundreds of people on your help desk. But help desk responsibilities will include, they are the single point of contact. Everybody knows to call the help desk. Now, hopefully in a larger organization or even a smaller one, you might have some self-help stuff first. And so someone can go to like an intranet website or refer to a manual and try certain things first. And that's one thing we did. We couldn't have an intranet website. So in the user manual, there were just clear troubleshooting steps. First try this, 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 this. You should see this, 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 this. If you don't have these, now call us. And so there needs to be sort of like a clear procedure for users. You can give them sort of self-help first line stuff. But after that, the help desk is their point of contact. And really, you want the customers who are